Well, guys, it's finally over. Me, Kevin's DUI case has finally come to an end, and as the guy who first broke the story, I wanted to go ahead and give my opinion on it. I found the DUI information that you got a DUI in Florida.
You did
I
good.
broke that. Yeah, I broke that story on my YouTube
No,
channel.
seriously, I just want to say, like, shit, you did good. You broke the case before the case even resolved. So, I mean, I have to say, like, I don't know what you did, but you did good.
So, for those who don't know, on July 7th of 2022, I was the very first person who exposed to the entire world that me, Kevin, got a DUI in Florida. And honestly, I had no idea it was going to have the impact it had, but that story took the entire finance community by storm, and everybody and their freaking grandmother was talking about it. This led Kevin to actually come on my channel and do a live stream with me, which, by the way, he showed up to very drunk.
I don't care. I don't care if I lose, bro. Echoes. I don't give a shit if I don't beat the fucking market. I want to do what I want to do.
Shut up, bitch.
And let's also never forget that Scott Schaefer was going to fly from California, where he lives, all the way to Florida just so he could film the trial of me, Kevin's DUI.
Now, one thing I want to mention, I actually reached out to the 13th Judicial Hillsborough County. This is where the case is. I reached out to their media department to actually see if potentially I could actually film in the courthouse.
Why would you do that? That's nutty.
So they actually do allow, they don't allow the public. So if you're just a random person going, you cannot film the actual case. You can go to the case because it's public, but you can't actually film it unless you're media. And because I have a YouTube channel, I'm considered media. So I am actually able to go to the case and film inside the courtroom once this case actually happens. Obviously, I didn't go to the deposition today. I had a feeling it was going to get moved, and I don't really want to go to a deposition. I want to go to the actual trial. I want to go to the actual trial. If I want to go to the actual trial, if it does eventually go to the trial.
Now, unfortunately, Kevin was able to get my original DUI video taken down, but whatever. So here's the update on what happened with me, Kevin's DUI case. After several months of pushing back the court date, Kevin Helmut Pathrath finally accepted a plea deal. This plea deal lowered his DUI charge to a reckless driving charge, and Kevin pled no contest to the charge of reckless driving. Pleading no contest means that Kevin has accepted the conviction, but is not pleading or admitting guilt. Also, just so everyone knows, a reckless driving charge is a second-degree misdemeanor, and it will be on Kevin's record. Pleading no contest to a DUI charge is functionally the same as a guilty plea. A plea of no contest tells the court that you will not fight the charge you've been given and that you are willing to be punished for the crime without contesting the charge at the trial. A no contest plea is different from pleading not guilty, however, because you give up your right to defend yourself. It is also different from pleading guilty as well, because you are not admitting that you committed the crime. So it's basically choosing to be neutral, but also still accepting the consequences / charges. Now, for those who don't know what reckless driving is, in the state of Florida, the statute states that a person is guilty of reckless driving when they drive any motor vehicle with a willful or careless disregard for the safety of people or property. So even though Kevin didn't necessarily get charged with driving under the influence, reckless driving is still a very serious charge. It's lesser and it carries less consequences than a DUI, but it's still a very serious crime. It's a very serious thing. So for me personally, even though a lot of people are like, oh, he got off with the DUI, he still didn't get off with the fact that he was driving in a dangerous or reckless manner. Now, I do believe that had Kevin not had $10,000 to throw at his lawyer to keep prolonging and fighting the case, he probably would have ended up pleading guilty to the DUI charge. And this is where I do believe that me, Kevin's wealth gave me, Kevin, an advantage in the opportunity that the average Joe just simply doesn't get within our United States court system. I think him getting away with it is normal. I did some research into the actual DUI. And I discovered that with the DUI, typically that's actually what happens, especially if you get your first one. To people who first get a DUI, they typically plead and they end up getting a lesser charge like reckless driving or something like that. The main question is, I don't know why Kevin prolonged the case so much. I don't know why he just didn't get it over with, because he could have easily got it over with. He could have just went through the case, pled to the lesser charge of reckless driving, got it over with. But instead, he spent about $10,000 to drag the case on for like 6 or 7 months. I have no idea why he did that. It doesn't really make much sense to me, but driving under the influence or driving drunk is not okay. It's not cool. I don't care how many weirdos in the comments try to justify it. It'll never be okay. Thank God nobody got hurt or died, but I think you guys need to understand that there's a reason why driving under the influence is a crime. Meet Kevin put the lives of the people in the car with him, including Jack Selvey, in danger. Maybe they didn't feel that way, but it doesn't matter. They were still in danger. When you're in the car with somebody who's under the influence and is drunk, and I understand he didn't get convicted of it, whatever. He pled to a lesser charge. So I'm going to say allegedly was drunk in the car. The problem with driving in the car with somebody who was allegedly drunk is, just driving in the car with drunk people, period, is it puts other people's lives at risk. People you're in a car with, other people that are driving, because it impairs your senses. And that's what leads to it. I personally think that the DUI is what he should have gotten. I personally think, just by looking at the body cam footage, that there's no doubt that he was drunk. And obviously the cop thought so as well, which is why the cop went ahead and arrested him. So, I mean, moving forward, I think with guys like this, I think karma always eventually gets them. There's this thing called karma, and there's also this thing called a hit to your reputation. Kevin's one of those people where, unfortunately, in my opinion, all he has to show for everything that's happened is money. That's all he really has to show for it. So there's some people who are blinded or gullible enough to think that just because this guy has a lot of money, he has a successful life. But I actually don't think so. I don't think Kevin lives a successful life. I don't think that making your money by lying and cheating and grifting and deceiving people, I don't think that's a justified or good life. I really don't. I think that's a bad life. I think that's a morally sad life to live. And I think that is the life that Kevin Paffrath has chosen. That is the life that Kevin Paffrath has lived. Employees leaving you, no friends really. All his little house hack buddies and, his little private jet weird people that he hangs out with, they're just with him because of who he is. They're just with him because he has money. They're not with him because they truly love him for who he is. And like I said, somebody like that, when you do bad in the world, eventually the karma comes back on you. Now it's easy to go in life and say, oh, I have money, so nothing matters. But money's not everything. It's great that he has money. It's great that he's successful on YouTube. Congratulations. Good for you. But the thing that a lot of us people who are poorer than Kevin have is, I can post a tweet on Twitter and not have people destroying me in the comments, telling me how much they hate me and how bad of a person I am. I can post a YouTube video without having thousands of people or hundreds of people in the comments destroying me and telling me how bad of a person that I am. Kevin doesn't have that. And the reason why Kevin gets 3 times as much hate as anybody else on YouTube is because of the bad karma that he has brought upon himself by doing the things that I said, making his money through unethical ways, deceiving, lying, tricking, grifting, all those different things. So my overall thoughts on the whole Meet Kevin situation is, congratulations, you won the court case. But when it comes to the game of life, you've lost. You absolutely lost, because your reputation has taken a hit. And even though you have some people that like you, you also have just as many people who hate your guts. And it has nothing to do with the fact that they're haters or they hate on you. It has everything to do with the actions that you, Sir Meet Kevin, have done. And as time goes on, you are going to have to be held accountable for what you've done. That's just how life works. So yeah, there you guys have it. That's really all I got. There you guys have it. That will go include today's video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.